All right, welcome to the video. Today's subject that I want to talk about and cover is going to be, and I actually wrote it down, miscommunication, specifically the value of miscommunication. And I want to talk about this because I really want to go over tools or go over things that may occur in relationships that may make relationships more challenging, so that way we can improve relationships and have more effect. We can have juicy relationships, those relationships that like we really deeply want with the people in our lives and with the people that we will meet and encounter in our lives. So this is all about improving our relationships. So I'm going to go over two examples about miscommunication, and I'm not talking about miscommunication like, oh, I gave this person the wrong address and I miscommunicated. Like, I'm talking about very subtle miscommunication that happens in our daily lives all the time without us even recognizing it most of the time. And having the awareness to recognize how this miscommunication may occur can prevent us from having issues later down the road. So, two examples. First one's going to be my personal one. Second one's going to be from something I've seen. And by seen, I mean like from a friend that I've experienced his story. So my example is going to be with a woman that I was dating for a little bit. It was the start of our relationship, and we were just getting to know each other, and we were going over things that, we want, some things that we like, what helps us connect, right? What helps us get closer. And we both went over the fact that we both need a connection, right? Like, in order to be with each other, like we need that connection, and whatever that is whatever that is. And this was a few years ago. So it's pretty vague. However, in my eyes, when I heard connection, I immediately, and this is silly. However, well, I'm going to go over her example, how she viewed connection. The way that she viewed connection was she just wants to be able to laugh with someone. She just wants to feel comfortable with someone. She just wants to feel like she can be in someone's space and be herself. Natural, normal, right? I'd say that's the example for most people, but it's not whether it's an example for most people or not. The issue was my interpretation of connection, because the way I see connection is, I mean, it's not about how extreme my view is, mind it. It's more so the miscommunication. So the way I view connection is that we're all connected, right? Like, if I run into anyone outside of my apartment, like going to my car, that wasn't an accident. You know what I mean? That person is living their own life and doing their own thing. And for us to be in the same space at the same time, a lot of things have to go right for that to happen, actually. And a homeless man, for example, someone that I can just run into while driving my car. Not run into, literally run. You get what I'm saying? Like, a homeless person, like, that is a real human being. That is someone's life. If I make eye contact with them, whether I remember this person or not ever in my life, that moment actually happened, and that was real. And it'll always be real, because the moments that I experience in my life are real for me as they are for anyone else. So I believe in that level of connection. Now, how that applied in that circumstance was, I looked at it as like, this person's here in my life right now for a reason. Like, out of everyone I could be here right now, it was this person. So I thought when she said connection, she must be thinking something like that, right? Obviously. Whereas her view of connection was not in that same spectrum that I was thinking of. So what I'm attempting to communicate with that is that we miscommunicated from the very beginning. Her interpretation and perception of connection and my perception of connection were totally different. And from the very beginning, we were already off the same page without even recognizing it. Now, I'm not saying to go and analyze every single word that everyone says, but it's more about the important things and asking questions like, well, what does that mean to you, right? Well, what do you really mean by connection? And what does that really mean to you? And finding out what it means for me, because I also have to know what it means for me, because if I'm not sure what it means for me and I just go along with what the other person wants and it's not really what I want, then that in and of its own is miscommunication. So the second example I want to talk about is my friend, who had shared an example with me with him and his husband. Sunday morning, they're waking up, right? Sunday morning. And my friend wants to lay in bed and cuddle with his husband. The husband wants to go out and start working on things in the house. He wants to go out and mow the lawn and do things like that. So my friend's like, well, let's stay in bed and let's cuddle. And his husband gets kind of upset about that, and he leaves and he goes out and starts mowing the lawn. So my friend's in bed alone, and he thinks his husband's mad at him, and he doesn't feel loved, and he feels rejected. Now the husband's outside mowing the lawn, because what he wanted to do was spend time doing things with his husband. He wanted to go out and shop. He wanted to go out and do the yard work together. He wanted to do those things together. However, my friend wanted to lay in bed and cuddle. So his husband was upset and he felt rejected and not loved. So both of them literally wanted the same thing, which was to spend time with each other and enjoy each other's company and just have a Sunday where they are together and like loving each other. And both also ended up experiencing the same thing, which was the rejection and mostly the rejection. And it's interesting to me how they both wanted the same thing, but neither one of them were aware that they both wanted the same thing. They both thought they wanted different things. They both thought they were on each other, they were against each other, when in reality they were on the same side. They were just miscommunicating without knowing. And without actually coming to that, without having that conversation or the awareness to understand what was happening for my friend, those kinds of patterns can repeat in our lives. And they can be very, very subtle like that, where you never have that conversation or you never get to the understanding of why. Because it's not a matter of like, it's not that my friend's husband decided to go out and mow the lawn out of revenge or anything like that. He wanted to do that because he wanted to do that, but they weren't on the same page about that. So the miscommunication we end up creating perceptions about whatever it is that means, and then that's how we miscommunicate through. I mean, it's so subtle, and it makes such a huge difference in so much in terms of a relationship that it blows my mind. But it's so crazy because it's so subtle that it gives us so much power in terms of identifying it and making small little changes, like degree changes, from like not asking a simple question of like, well, what does that mean to you? Why did you go and do that? Why do you want to do this? Why is this important to you? Things like that, like, and not like out of just curiosity. And yeah, those are my two examples. And I say that there's a lot of value in this because we all miscommunicate with each other all the time. And it's not like we have to overthink or overanalyze any of these things, but to know that it's happening all the time, and to know that we can be aware of it and course correct if things start to go wrong in our relationships. Because at the end of the day, for me personally, I want my relationships to be big. I want my relationships to be strong and healthy, where I can be open, people can be open, we can just be ourselves. And I'm always looking to improve on that and like recognize where it is and what it is that is stopping that or getting in the way, so that I can go ahead and break through that. And I think there's a lot of value in miscommunication, so I just wanted to share that today. And I hope that what I'm communicating makes some sense, and if not, it's okay. I understand it, so I guess it helps one person. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day, and whoever watches this, thank you for watching this. I appreciate you very much, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and listen to what it is that I have to say. So on that note, thank you very much for watching the video, and I just want to leave the video with much love. Thank you.